Folks, welcome back to Nostalgianomics. No, the title's not clickbait. Yes, you can legitimately make thousands of dollars and thousands of % gain using this strategy with your modern cards. That's right. Sure, it's going to take a little bit of expertise. And yeah, there's a little bit of time involved. And of course, there is risk involved in this. However, if you're willing to put in that effort and take some of those risks, the gains are very real. So we're going to jump into it. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. I have some examples. We have some other things to look at, some numbers, data, nitty gritty. And you can make the decision for yourself if you want to take these chances and try to hit those home run grand slams. Or if you're saying, Alex, I get it, but it's not for me. No problem. I'm just here to show you what's out there. So before we do that, got to give a shout out to today's video sponsor. It's Arizona TCG. Guys, Arizona TCG is a consignment service for your slabs. PSA, CGC, BGS, it doesn't matter. Their fees are very transparent. Anything under $100 is only 13.5% plus $5 shipping. Basically exactly what you're going to pay on eBay. Anything over $100 is 13.5%, no shipping. And so basically less than what you're going to end up doing yourself on eBay. And then anything over $2,500 is only 3.5% is what they're charging you, which is crazy. So here's a little calculator they did. If you send them a $50 card, you would actually come out ahead with Arizona TCG than selling it on eBay yourself. And again, they're going to take professional scans, professional titles, descriptions. They're going to deal with the customer service side. They're going to ship it for you, and then they're just going to send you a check at the end. So they do all the work. You're going to get around the same, if not more money than doing it yourself. It just makes sense, guys. So if you are in the market to get rid of some of your slabs, make sure to check out Arizona TCG. The link will be in the description in the comments section below. All right. So Alex, what are you talking about? What is this new finagled scheme you got going on? Guys, it's nothing new. It's just, I think a lot of people hear the term black label and they just kind of, know, oh yeah, that's the most expensive thing. But you don't really always want to try for that because it's so hard to get. True. There's truth to that. But is it really black label or bust? I mean, can you still do well sending in a Beckett if you don't hit the black label? If you hit the black label, what are the actual returns? Because guys, it's so astronomical. It might make sense for a lot of us if we really have those perfect cards to send them in. So here, I'm going to show you some things. We can talk a little bit more at the end. But here's the Umbreon VMAX, right? Selling for around $850, right, with shipping. So these are auctions that just ended, a couple days ago. So about an $850 card, right, in a PSA 10. Here's the black label. $3,835 plus shipping, about $3,850. You have a couple other ones that ended at buy it now or best offer, okay? On the market, there's only 3 available, the lowest one being at $5,000 and $10,000. This means there's a very real market. There are collectors out there who want these and are willing to pay for it. Now, are they less liquid? Well, yeah, like I told you, anything as you get up in the thousands becomes less liquid, but the gains are exponential. I mean, I forget what this card is raw. I think it's like about a $500 card. So you're getting, if you graded a 10, you're not even getting 100% returns with PSA. If you graded a black label, right, you're getting hundreds of % return on this card. Not only that, it's not black label or bust, as a lot of people say, okay? Here's the pristine 10. This means you didn't get the black label. Maybe one of the corners was off, one of the little surface, wear, whatever it may be, and you get the pristine 10. Well, you can see here, the pristine 10 is still selling at a premium to PSA 10s, $950, $1,150. So, it depends on, where it goes, which seller, if it's auction or buy it now. But either way, there is still a premium on a Beckett 10. So it really isn't Beckett black label or bust. You can still do well if you get the pristine 10. So what I would say is send your perfect cards into Beckett, right? If you think it's like a borderline PSA 10, don't send that. If you think it is perfectly centered, not a white speck, the surface is perfect, it might make sense to send those to Beckett because even if you get a pristine 10, you're better than PSA 10. And then if you get that black label, it's a home run grand slam out of the park, you made out like a bandit. Now, if you're sending those less than perfect cards, right, and you get a 9.5, well, you are going to lose out. I mean, you can see right here, 587 at auction, 675. It's going to be more in lines with the PSA 9 pricing, right? 610 PSA 9. Okay, so if you do miss that pristine 10, then yes, you are going to get a PSA 9 card. But again, if it wasn't a perfect card, you could argue, well, PSA probably would have gave it a 10, but you don't know that, right? Maybe they would have gave it a 9, right? So if they gave it a 9, Becky gave it a 9.5. Well, look, now you're on the same level. You're getting about the same money. And so I don't know if the risk is as great as we've been told, right? Like, yeah, it's very hard to get a black label, but I mean, most of the time, are you getting a pristine? Could you get a 9.5 when you would have got a PSA 9? I mean, these are the things you need to ask yourself when thinking about taking the risk, because the risk doesn't seem super huge, right? It's not like you get a black label or the card's worthless, right? You're still going to have a valuable card in one of those Beckett high grade cases. All right, now once you get down to like Beckett 9s, 8s, 7s, don't go there. Send those cards to PSA. The PSA is always going to trump those in those lower grades. Here's what the pop reports look like. Here's why people chase these black labels, okay? Here's the Umbreon VMAX Secret Alt Art, okay? 9,855 tens, all right? When you look at the black label pop report, there's only 109. Now, as I've said before, pop reports are just one tool. Do not make them the end-all, be-all. A lot of people use this data and say, see, it's too easy to get tens. That's why people are chasing black labels. Well, look, there's only 553 pristines. There's only 1,406 Gem at 9s, 9.5s. The reason for this is not as many people grade with Beckett. That's why you can't worry about the pop reports all the time. It's because the majority of everyone in this hobby sends their cards to PSA. So, of course, their pop reports are going to be higher. If every single card went to Beckett, you would see these pop reports a whole lot higher as well. So it's not just about looking at these pop reports and saying, oh, look at this, a Beckett 9.5 is actually harder to get than a PSA 10 because there's only 1,406 pop report. No, that's wrong. Don't get in that mindset. You will get burned. However, seeing there's only 109 black label 10s and only 553 pristine 10s, even though it's a smaller market than a PSA 10, the numbers are small enough to service that market because the market's not so small. There's not enough people that want them that they won't be able to sell. Unless, like I said, tons of groves of people start doing this, these numbers, blow up in the thousands, just like PSA. Well, then there's probably not enough demand for these Beckett cards, and there's PSA. But as it stands now, these things do sell. Let's move on to another example. All right, the Hidden Fates Charizard, right? The SV49. Okay, so here's what it goes for in a PSA 10, all right? About $600, all right? Black label, $3,201 plus 50 shipping, so $3,250. Then you have some end like $63.80 best offer, $95.71. These are overseas sales, okay? So, take them for what you will. But then the lowest one in the market's $5,000, okay? There's about, 6 on the market. The lowest one is $5,000. Sells in the 3,000 ranges. Okay, so 3,000 ranges, 5,000 on the market, and you get the PSA 10 selling for $600. Now, talking about the pristine, right? The pristine 10, where is it? All right, pristine 10 right here, $750. Okay, the pristine 10 sells for $750, where the PSA 10 $600. So again, it's not black label or bust. The pristine 10 will still have you come out ahead of the PSA 10. So as long as you're sending in perfect cards that even if they miss that black label because of one little thing here or there, and you get the pristine, you're still okay. Now, again, if you do drop down to the 9.5, yeah, you're getting smoked, right? It's about half what the PSA 10 goes for. It's on the lines of the PSA 9. Okay, some of them actually end lower than the PSA 9. Some PSA 9s end lower than 9.5s. It's basically the same thing. Okay, so again, perfect cards we're sending into Beckett, right? Anything, you don't feel absolutely confident in, send a PSA. You're going to have a better chance of getting a 10. You're going to have a better chance of getting a better return on your money instead of getting a 9 or a 9.5 from Beckett. Now, going to the same thing, the pop reports, here's the SV49 Charizard, 6,149 10s. When you go to the Beckett pop reports, there's only 198 black labels, 816 pristines, 1,287 Gem 9.5s. So again, pop reports across the board are going to be lower on Beckett, but these numbers, what you want to look for is there's still under 1,000 of each of these. And so there doesn't need to be a huge amount of the community that actually wants these cards for them to continue to sell and continue to be somewhat liquid in the thousands. And so that's the reason why I think there's still opportunity here. I think there's still enough collectors that want to chase this. And I still don't think there's as many people that are trying this because they've been told it's such a huge risk. They've been told it's black label or bust, even though it really isn't. And so I do think there's opportunity in doing this. Now let's talk about the services. If you want to go with Beckett, all right, here's their website. You just go to grading of non-sports cards, all right, and here is their, all right, come on, guys, non-sports, oh, we're here. All right, here's the cost. So first off, Beckett does not have a membership fee, right, like PSA does. So there's no fee there. You can send in the collector special for $18 a card. Now, there is a $400 value maximum on this. Again, don't know how strict they are on that, but that's what they say. If you want to step up to the base plan, it is $22. Here, I'll click on one so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Click on cards. Here it is. So Collectors Club, 60 business days, $400 max. Then the base is the same 60 business days, but there's no max value. It's $22 a card, okay? And then if you want to get it back fast, like what PSA does, you can pay $40 a card, you get it back in 10 to 20 days. And so that's what it costs if you want to use Beckett. Now, they do have the no subgrade options, but I would prefer, and I would tell you to probably always go with the subgrades. It's what people like to see. If they're going to buy a Beckett card, they really like to see those subgrades, especially if it's one of those, black label or pristines. All right. Now, PSA. All right. Same thing, PSA. We can go to their services. All right. Services and pricing. Same type of thing. So they're only $15. So they're going to be less than Beckett, but they only have $199 declared value on the top cards you can send in. Again, don't know how strict they are on that. Then it steps up to $19 for $499 value or less, right? $25 is the value tier. That's going to be $499 or less. All of these are going to be 65 business days, okay? So it's just depending on the card value, all right? When you come down to the value plus, that's where you're going to get it back faster in the 20 business days. And they're still saying $499 card or less. Again, I'm not going to get into all that. I've sent cards that are much more valuable than that. I've got them back, no issues. But, take your own risk as you see fit. But the price points, obviously with PSA, they're a little less. But there is a $99 PSA membership per year you have to enroll in. So I always tell people, if you're going to grade like 100 cards a year, it's basically $1 a card what you're paying. So add $1 to all these prices. If you're going to pay grade 200 cards a year, add 50 cents to all these prices per card, because that's kind of what it breaks down to. Okay. Now, if you don't want that barrier to entry with the membership, go with Beckett. It's going to cost you a little more per card. You can go for that black label, that pristine. Try to hit those crazy percentage gains, and you can see how it turns out. But these are the opportunities that are out there, guys. I mean, you can literally turn a raw card into thousands and thousands of dollars and thousands % gains on some of those. Now, some of those were only about 400, 500, 600% gain. There's other cards out there though in black labels that are literally, you can turn into thousands of % gains. I've seen it. It's kind of wild. But hey, again, not every video is for everyone. I get some of you watching this don't even grade cards. You don't believe in grading. I know some of you are, PSA only, or some of you are still on the CGC train, which I don't know why. And then others of you, just whatever it is. But for anyone who does want to kind of maximize their grading potential, and you do come across just absolutely pristine, perfect cards, and you want to take that chance, you might want to go, Beckett, go for the black label. If you miss, you get the pristine, you still come out ahead in the PSA. If you get the 9.5, well, chances are maybe you would have got the 9 at PSA, and you still came out around the same amount with the 9.5. Now, sometimes, obviously, you're going to hear that 9.5 would have been a 10 at PSA, and you are going to lose out. Of course, there's risk involved. I'm not shying away from that. I get it. There is risk involved, but the payouts in some of those black labels, they might just be worth it. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know if you are going to take advantage of any of these yourself. And guys, those are just 2 examples of the cards. You can do this with pretty much any card that has any type of following, popular Pokemon. They do sell. There is markets for them. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you're going to take those plays. Subscribe to the channel if you're not yet. Check out Arizona TCG if you're going to sell any slabs. And I'll be back here in a new video soon. I'm out.